This is different. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Ty Twin, and today I'm doing something really different. So this is a flight attendant video, but obviously it's not gonna be a vlog. It's just gonna be a sit down, have a little chat with me. I am, once again, if you've watched my last video, I'll put it up in the cards and I'll put it in the description. I am sitting in Detroit again for 5 days. So instead of like vlogging me watching TV and watching YouTube all day, I decided to instead let you guys know my pros and cons of being a flight attendant. Let's get into the video. And guys, I did write everything down so I don't just be driving. My first pro would have to be the people. You meet so many people, it's crazy. Like, you can meet your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your best friend. You meet so many people that you wouldn't even imagine. It's like a double-headed sword, because the same way that it's great to meet people, that's also a con, because y'all know how people are. Sometimes people are rude, people can be nasty, people can be mean for no apparent reason. So it's more like a double-headed sword. And that's not only passengers, that can be gate agents or your crew. Y'all seen I had a video on my channel of a crew that was people. That was just, that's a con as well as a pro. The best thing for me, at least, you can travel for work. I think that's amazing, only because, one, I like traveling. Two, I was an Army brat, so I grew up traveling so much. So after I got into college and out of college, I was just in one place and I didn't like it. So for me, being able to travel so frequently, and even if it's just for a couple hours that I'm in a certain place or city, it still works out for me, because I don't like staying in one place too long. And so with me traveling like this for this job, me staying in Dallas forever, it balances out, or however long I stay there, it balances out. A con to that though, yeah, you're traveling for work a lot, and that also means that you miss out on a lot of things that may happen in life. You can miss out on birthdays, holidays, weddings, baby showers, all types of important events that, you know, if you had a regular 9 to 5, you'd probably be able to make it for those things. But because your schedule is so crazy, sometimes you may not be able to make it for those things, you know? So that also has a double-edged sword. And what I've noticed about a lot of these pros, it's like a double-edged sword. Like, it's a two-headed snake, you know? Like, it's great, but at the same time, it's something that's like, The next pro, the freedom of this job. This job allows you to do so much. You do not have to be tied down to anything, anyone, any desk. Let me not say anyone, because, you know, people who are married and have kids, full families, they still do this job and it works for them. But if you're like me, you ain't got no man, you ain't got no kids, you can't get nobody to text you back after 10 minutes, me, then at this point, this freedom, it allows you just to, it's a really nomadic lifestyle. How about that? You do not take your work home with you. Like, you don't stress about what you did that day at work. You don't see the people you saw yesterday, today. Like, you don't bring none of that with you the day after you're done with that flight. However, you do take your work home if there's like a medical or some type of event that happens, in which case you have to just write out some paperwork, and then that's it. After you're done with your paperwork, you're done. So that's also a positive for me, like compared to my last job where I was strapped down to a desk and I always had to worry about how fast I was going with the work that I was doing and making sure that I was meeting my quota, I guess. So with this job, you don't have to worry about that. Health insurance, okay? Like, let me tell y'all, after I graduated college, I did not have insurance. Mind you, I graduated in 2017. I got this job last year. This insurance is so good. I got 401k, I have life insurance, I have health benefits. Granted, my company is said to have the best health insurance, and you can do what you want with that. But all I know is the insurance is great. I don't have to walk around and be scared to walk down the street, possibly fall and bust my knee wide open and bleed out. Like, no, if that happens, I can go to the doctor and they can take care of me. Health insurance, that's another one. I'm gonna get into these cons, okay guys? Because those were like benefits that doesn't really have a negative point to them, I guess. But now I'm gonna get into these cons, which also can be a pro eventually. A con, a major con. When you first get this job, let me rephrase that. Nobody who has gotten this job has signed up to do this for the pay. You have a major pay cut, okay? Like, I used to work for the state, and I used to have a very stable paycheck coming in every single month. After I got this job, you know, the paycheck is, it's just, yeah, you see, we make 18 and up an hour, and I'm saying 18 because I know some regionals, they start out at 18. So 18 to like 35, I think, is where we start off, in that range. Yeah, it sounds great, but it's really not an hour. It's just from flight time. So from the time you're behind that closed boarding door to the time that it opens up, that's the only time we're making that big buck number that you see or that you hear about. Other than that, when we're boarding and deplaning and on the ground and the door is just open, or walking through the airport looking cute, clacking with our heels, we're not getting paid for that. I tell people all the time, if you're gonna consider this job, realize that you're just a waitress in the sky. Not really, but that's the salary. Like, the salary is that of a server, a waitress. A pro to that, although you don't start off and you don't make that much, I guess, a pro to that, you do get raises every year. And I know some companies cap off or don't have a cap off. I know some people who make $50-some an hour per, like, an hour. So say you have a 6-hour flight, you making $50, over $50 for that 6-hour flight. That's $300 plus, okay? When everybody starts off, I don't care what company you're with, you will have to experience the reserve life. The reserve life is just your crew scheduling's bitch, okay? They can do whatever they want. Why y'all think I'm sitting in Detroit for 5 days? Why y'all think I was sitting in Detroit for 5 days? Like, and that was during New Year's too. Like, I would not have done that on my own at all. Who wants to come to Detroit, you know? So sometimes that's a good thing though, because when you're in reserve, you can end up in some crazy places, like in some places that you've never even imagined you would ever get to go. So it's like a flip side. Some people really enjoy it for that reason, because you never know what's gonna happen. And then some people don't enjoy it because they like to have a little control over your life. But baby, when you first get this job, you don't have that much control over your life. Like, that's what you need to realize. You don't have control until later down the line, which will bring me into this pro. You can kind of finesse your schedule. However, that is down the line. Like, you have to have some years under your belt for that, because on reserve, you're expected to work so many, or you can be called so many days out of the month. Like, you only have 12 days to play with for yourself. Like me, I'm a reserve flight attendant. I get 12 months. I get 12 days guaranteed off for the month. Which, if you compare it to like regular jobs, that's way more. Anything else, like, I have no control over. However, after you have a little seniority, with my company at least, we can literally drop every single trip on our schedule and still be employed, still get insurance and everything. You really have the freedom to move anything around, make your schedule how you want it. If you have certain days you need off, you can bid, drop, trade trips. You know, you can finesse it after a while. Having said that, I'm just gonna move right along into the flexibility, because it makes sense. Like I just said, our job is so flexible, it's ridiculous. Like, after you get those years under your belt, or even, some bases you don't even need years. Some bases, all you need is probably like a year, maybe a year and a half, and then you have a line, and at that point you can do whatever you want, you know? However, when you first start out, yes, our job is flexible, but the thing that's flexible when you first start out is you, okay? Because you have to be the one that's flexible. You can't just do everything that you want. Another thing, which I kind of already said, if you don't want to work, you don't have to with this job. Like I said, once you get that seniority under your belt, you can drop every single trip if you want. Or with other companies, you literally only have to work like, what, 40 hours? In a regular job, 40 hours is 1 week. So that means all you have to do is work 1 week out of the whole month. On the flip side, you can also pick up as much as you want. even for me, I can pick up on my days off. This month of January, I literally, I think I only have 4 days off this month, only because I've picked up every chance I could because I'm trying to get some money. Your travel benefits. Everybody wants these jobs for travel benefits, which is amazing. Like, I can travel anywhere in the US for free. I can travel anywhere internationally, and the only thing that I have to pay for is taxes. So I can literally go to London for $30 round trip. Okay, I'm really making up numbers only because I haven't looked at the taxes, but you picking up what I'm putting down. Like, I can go somewhere overseas for next to nothing. On the flip side of that is you're flying standby, and that sucks. I hate flying standby, but I'm never paying for a plane ticket again in my life. Like, I'll fly standby. It's okay. I'll suck it up. If you don't know what standby is, that means you're only getting on that plane if a paying passenger doesn't show up, or if there's seats open on that flight, meaning the flight's not full to begin with, so they can put you on. However, another breakdown of the standby list, which I feel like some people don't experience this only because who they work for. I, however, feel like I experience this constantly. There's priority lists on the standby list. So if you work for Delta, you're trying to fly standby on Delta, you will be the first person in the standby list on the plane. Okay? Say you don't work for the company, you're gonna be the last person on the plane if they have a seat. Like, there's been, I think for one time, I got stranded in Atlanta trying to get back to Detroit, but the flights, it was so full. Every flight was so full. It was like, if I missed one flight, then I roll on to the next flight that was supposed to go to Detroit, and that one be full. So I get put on the next one, and that one be full. Like, standby is no joke. Standby is no joke, and you're not officially on that plane until that boarding door closes. Okay, like, they can give you a ticket all day, but if somebody shows up, you lost your seat, you know. So yeah, that's life with standby. The next thing that I do want to mention, which can be taken as a pro or a con, is, you know, you're by yourself a lot. You get really comfortable being alone because you're not around your friends or family. You're not around people that you're used to and that you're comfortable with all the time. So I feel like this job can really make somebody meet themselves or get to know themselves really well. That, though, can also be a con, you being by yourself all the time. Some people aren't comfortable enough with themselves to be by themselves all the time, you know. So it can make you or break you. You see the world, obviously. You see the world. You have all these different experiences that you experience or that you go through on your layovers, and it's amazing. I mean, honestly, half the people who do this job, they probably would have never been able to do half the things that they have done without having this job, or they wouldn't have had the opportunity or the resources to go to these places. That's amazing in and of itself. I remember when I was applying to these jobs, my cousin would tell me, Ty, like, yeah, you're applying for these jobs and you're seeing the world, but you're not seeing it with anybody you love. Like, you can't share with anybody, which sometimes is true. Like, yeah, you probably just had the most amazing layover and you wished your significant other or your kids or your parents or your brother or sister, your siblings, whoever was there with you, and it's like, nobody was with you there that you love. Like I said earlier, the people you meet, you build bonds and experiences with these people. So I mean, it balances out, but I feel like it's not the same. You're always tired, especially when you start this job. Like, if y'all have watched my channel for a while, you know that I do not sleep on my layovers, and I can be gone 4 days at a time. So if I'm gone 4 days at a time and I sleep 2 hours each night and working 12+ hour days, it's like I'm exhausted when I end up going home. That's when I get my sleep, because I don't have a normal sleep pattern. Because sometimes I don't have to show up to the airport or to van time until like 4 p.m. Yeah, but sometimes I have to be up as early as 3:20 in the morning to be downstairs for 4:20. So it's just like there's no schedule, which I guess is another con for some people, depending on how much they like structure in their life. I'm always tired. There's no structure in this job. No structure at all. Like, you have to be like a palm tree, man. You just gotta flow in the wind. Just go with the flow. That's what this job, if you're not already like that as a person, you're gonna learn to be like that. If you continue to work in this industry, you're gonna be like that, because you deal with delays, cancellations, all types of things, weather, any and everything. That was just my very, I think, short list of pros and cons about being a flight attendant. I hope I didn't deter anybody from wanting this job. I just feel like a lot of people only see the glamorous lifestyle or things that, you know, because of this job, it affects your life in whatever way. If you're a flight attendant, or if you aspire to be a flight attendant, what's some pros or cons you think I missed out of this video? You know, tell me your input. I'm pretty sure I missed a lot of them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more like sit down videos, or I'm just running my mouth, just let me know. Comment below, or, you know, DM me on Instagram what kind of topics you want me to talk about. And yeah, so again, everybody like, comment, subscribe, share these videos, tell a friend about me, and I guess I will see y'all in the next video. Hey, bye.